I mean, I don't know. Do we need to
So,
put that on a blackboard?
Yeah,
Or
that's
like,
good.
I think
can we throw that in a book?
that's officially the message, I would say.
It's gotta be the message, right? The
Damn, we should have
synopsis.
had that as the tagline or the log line on the, we'd missed it. Whoopsie.
Welcome to The Scene Drift, a podcast exploring the worlds of film, television, and entertainment, and the people who bring those stories to life, drifting through stories, one scene at a time. Today we're unpacking Casa Grande, a story about deep-rooted family secrets, hard choices, and the true cost of legacy. Joining me are the film stars Christina Moore, John Pyper-Ferguson, and Madison Lawlor, and we discuss how the cast brought these complex characters to life. Let's get into this. Lovely to e-meet you guys. I watched the film yesterday and it was amazing. The three of you were terrific. And Christina, you might get this a lot, but I grew up watching you on Jesse, and I'm not ashamed to admit I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
As Christina Ross, and what struck me was how both Christina Ross and Susanna, they share the same distance, one by fame and one by the ranch. Susanna hides behind these fashionable white suits like armor, and it's quietly quite sad how isolated she is. Was it difficult finding a way to show that love through that distance?
Wow, that's terrific. Thank you. It's a party every day. Hey, Jesse. Yeah, that it's one of the ones, like, I know where my people are depending on what age they are, because we all grew up together from that Disney Channel show. So I am thankful to those fans. It wasn't difficult, honestly, because we had done a 5-part series that is on Amazon that is kind of the origin story of where this film comes from. And the film is totally standalone, but as an actor, I had 5 years of prep that filled in Susanna's circumstances. And I also had this amazing relationship with Pyper and Madison, and I just so much trust that it was honestly, the movie was just kind of like jumping off the highest diving board and you just go, because Susanna is full of huge emotions and she has no filter and she's got no F's left to give, and she's pure adrenaline, pure survival. And so as long as I just had to let myself do it. That as long as I got out of my own way, it was easy.
Yeah, we see how she's very cold and she doesn't show much emotion. And to Madison, we never see Susanna's armor crack. But in that prison scene, I'll be honest, is a very touching scene. It finally does. We see the emotions come out. What was it like seeing Susanna, her emotions finally come out for the first time, especially with that glass in the middle where she can't come on and comfort her?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think that's, it's a power shift. I think throughout the entire series in the film, Susanna has always had a sort of a dominance and a power over Hassie. And now, that's changed. And it's sort of relinquishing and releasing her mom as well, which it's interesting that she has the power to do that in that moment. But, I think sometimes how it's sort of like when you're in fight or flight, everything is tense and you're so jacked up, and then it's over and that's when it hits you. And I feel like that's for me what I was witnessing with Susanna is the post fight release where she's done fighting, and I think it's a beautiful moment for Susanna and for her arc as a character, and for Hassie and Susanna's relationship as well.
Yeah, it's really sweet. And John, your character in this, he's quite unpredictable, but I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of him at first, but you made me a lover by the end. We see that he's defined by the refusal to let that land go, but his final act of letting it go was very heartwarming, and it was to essentially save Hassie before obviously he ended up dying. Was that him? Was that finally his way of admitting that his daughter was the only legacy that actually mattered?
I think that's very astute. When you're faced with your own mortality, it becomes a stoic life, not only every day but every moment. You're considering your death and what is to become of that. So I used a couple of quotes. I used a Kierkegaard quote, which is life is best understood looking backwards and best lived moving forwards. And the other one is it's never too late to become who you wanted to be. And those seem to resonate for Sawyer and for the actions and what he wanted to accomplish for for what's left of his family in the end. There can be only one.
I mean, I might have to write those quotes down because they inspired me right now.
I write them on my walls in my kitchen on a blackboard. So
he does.
And,
I've seen it.
So I'll be honest, there isn't much positivity with his family, and I was thinking if you guys all manage to just chill out for a bit and have have a family game night and had something to eat, what would you eat and what would you play?
As the Clarkmans?
Yeah, as the Clarkmans.
Oh. Now, is the motivation to chill out, or because I mean,
Just
I
to
would
not
say
kill
like
each other.
because I was gonna say Susanna wants to play Monopoly, and like that bitch, she's taken over that board like that. But I don't think that's your point. I think you wanted us to maybe like, should
Disconnect a
we
bit
do
more.
charades?
yeah,
Like, should we?
I think it's charades, but I don't envision anybody getting along during the game. And then it can be meat and cheese and gobs of wine, and it will end up in some kind of food fight, wine fight. Just and the place would be trashed at the end. I think that's what would
Yeah.
happen.
Damn, I mean, who would clean up the mess?
Right.
Not something Sawyer has to worry about, I don't think.
Yeah. No, I would say it might be Hassie and Mael, just out of like sheer kind of giving a shit. I'm not going anywhere near it. I've probably thrown up somewhere and tucked behind a door jamb. Just...
And everyone here in this film, they define inheritance differently. Sawyer has land, Susanna has escape, and Hassie, she has choice. Is the real message that legacy isn't what you leave behind, but it's what your children decide to keep?
Ooh. I mean, I don't know. Do we need to put that on a blackboard?
Yeah,
Or
that's
like,
good.
I think
can we throw that in a book?
that's officially the message, I would say.
It's gotta be the message, right?
Damn, we should have
synopsis.
had that as the tagline or the log line on the. We'd missed it. Whoopsie.
Let's call
That's
them up.
great.
And with these characters, they're very interesting to play. And was there a moment on set where the tension finally broke and you remembered this family was actually just a good, fun family to play?
I think that was most days. I can think of when we one of the kind of original like improvs we had, Christina and I were improving on in the bedroom, and it never made it because we just got along too well in the improv.
Yeah.
And our improvs were too affectionate for the characters who are pretty much done with each other.
Yeah.
But they were great improvs if you wanted to show a loving family.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I think that is what is interesting, right? Is that for me personally, like the greatest victory on a set is when you're so very, very comfortable. You feel kind of adored. You feel adoring. You feel sweet. And then it's action, and you can then flip to chaos or flip to hatred. I really am not I do not prefer that, like, and then you just live in hatred for 30 days. Like that's a struggle bus that I don't want to be on. And I don't think it allows you to recover so that you can do your best work.
Yeah, and I think when you really trust who you're working with and when you know each other and have a sense of safety, that's when the real play gets to come and gets to be involved. And then you get to have these sparring matches, and it's like a game of tennis, and it's a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys bounce off each other so well. But at the end, it goes Hassie's way. She's got the ranch to herself, and it's a very sweet ending. Do you think, Madison, do you think that Hassie is controlling the land now for her father's legacy, or is it for her future legacy?
I think it's a little bit of both. But I
Mm,
do think Hassie is interested in focusing on the future and making peace with the past.
mhm.
That's perfect. And it was lovely speaking to you guys. The film was amazing, and I can't wait for more people to see it.
But it was so nice to meet you.
Yes,
Lovely to
very
speak to you
nice.
guys. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Excellent.